How's you going?
Reverend. I am going good. How are you? How are you doing? It's like he wants you to tilt your camera up, but I'm not sure, Billy, because then something's going to go. You're either going to cut your beard off or you're going to you're going to cut off your fabulous headgear. It was what was it? I was actually watching a YouTube of you and Les Paul, and him asking what that was on your head or something, and what those things were, and you told him it was for every clam you played or something. You stuck another one on there to remind you. I'm like, yeah, he's a liar. You got tone, Billy, where your clams sound good, man.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. Every time we take to the deck, as you well know, we've memorized the songs musically, lyrically, and then that mysterious the Joker gene, which we all carry. It's never too far away.
The evil biscuit that somehow gets on your plate.
Oh man.
Man, and it's really not a day goes by because in my dressing room, I got a drawer with all my stuff, and you have given me a couple of my really prized possessions, which, some days I know you just walk around with a coat like Mr. Haney that's just full of stuff that you're passing around. There it is. I've got is that hot sauce?
Oh yeah, you know it.
What is your current favorite? I actually brought a pen so I could write it down.
Well, our good songwriting buddy and I, Mr. Tim Montana.
Oh yeah.
We were in the studio, actually not too far from where you and I took off years ago to start a tour. And anyway, I asked the engineer what happened to Tim. We were waiting on the studio to warm up. He said, "Oh, he's up in the kitchen commissary. He's mixing up some hot sauce." Well, that did it. I said, "Well, I've got a recipe." And I raced upstairs, and the two of us put our heads together, and we came up with a very interesting flavor profile. We call it Whisker Bomb.
Oh, I like that. So is this for sale now, Billy?
Yes, indeed. You can find it on the whiskerbomb.com website.
I'm writing this down.
Whisker Bomb. And if you're in Texas, if you pass through the Great Lone Star State, the grocery chain called HEB Groceries carrying it, and we're quite happy. There's actually two expressions. There's the Whisker Bomb original, and if you're really brave, you can tiptoe in toward Have Mercy Hot.
Ooh, I like that. Have Mercy Hot.
Yeah, man.
I am not afraid of heartburn, Billy. I am all in, brother. I love that. I don't think people know you as one of the greatest guitar players that ever picked up a Les Paul and a bunch of fuzzy stuff that you carry around, but they don't know what a great entrepreneur you are. I mean, you have come up with some amazing things. I still play the microphone I know you had a hand in developing for harmonicas. That's a great piece of work.
Yeah, man. We, in fact, you can hear a little bit of that same piece of technological wizardry, thanks to the guys that know how to make a good microphone. There's just when you think you've found the latest and greatest in the way of a foot pedal here or a microphone there, even your favorite guitar has the chance of being improved right around the corner. So it's a good constant search. Let's keep the fires burning.
Yeah, man. And for people that have no idea what I'm talking about, a lot of, because I know we got a lot of gearheads out there, but like a bullet guitar, that's kind of the classic harp mic that gives you that really growly ancient blues sound that most harp players are wanting in their repertoire. You came up with a thing that's so easy to hold, because a bullet mic, most of us that have done it, it's hard. You're always hitting the volume knob or something like that. But the one you guys came up with just fits in your hand in a really strange kind of way, so you can hold the harp. It's really comfortable and just get down and blow.
Yeah, man. I was fortunate enough to stumble into a video presentation that your good friend and mine, in fact, Kim Wilson, decided to do a streaming video. And for those that know Kim, you'll find his harp playing is still top of the mark. If you don't know Kim Wilson, just go on YouTube and type his name in, and there you have it. Some of the greatest harp sounds, and it's really interesting. Kim, who had found favor of learning how to cup that famous bullet-shaped microphone, he said, he said, I'm never surprised to find something new and fascinating come around the corner. So I made a believer out of Kim Wilson. He could stand on the street corner with nothing more than a harp in one pocket and a handout for the next passerby, but he does it right. He still does it right.
Well, it's interesting you would say that, because I've always been, I always thought it was really cool the way that you, and I think we might have even haunted a bar too, when you played a little harp, like when we toured together. And you're not afraid to go in on a house band and sit in and honk a little bit like that, which I think is really cool. There's a lot of people that are revered the way you are that wouldn't dream of jumping in and doing stuff like that. And I know this has been maybe a couple of years ago. I caught like a YouTube or something of you. Were you like in London or something in a subway with set up with an amp, just jamming around? I love that stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of, I showed up on the invitation of our good buddy Jimmy Vaughn. And of course, you and I have held Jimmy in high regard as far as his guitar slinging. And
oh yeah.
I showed up, and the guitar had been left behind, but I did have a harmonica in the pocket. And upon leaving, Jimmy was so happy. He said, "Gee whiz," he said, "you're blowing that horn like nobody's business." And he gave me a new, among the many nicknames that I've embraced over the years. He said, he said, your sound was so mellow. He said, from now on, when you're playing harmonica, we're going to call you Mellow Larry. I said, yeah, those two words have rarely been put together, but I like Mellow Larry.
You know what, Billy? I'm afraid to say I don't think that one's going to stick with you.
Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, heaven forbid I would call out Jimmy on anything, but yeah. But you have got somewhere between your beard, your sunglasses, you have got a cool factor that I would put up against anybody's. And congratulations on this recent tribute. And I hate Ronnie and I were out of town for this, but man, you had a great lineup on there. I did catch Eric Church doing Nationwide, which was interesting. And it's covering your vocals on any of this stuff. Not that you sing like Stapleton, but I can remember so many demos coming across the desk. It's like, I don't want to touch it. I can't. And we did cover, when we did our Crossroads things with you guys. I think I played harp for most of that, just because we had 9 guitar players on stage. and one was a freaking idol of mine, so I wasn't going to get in your way that day. But I just did with a harp. But anyway, it was really fun. I can't wait to see all of these. So I've got to ask you before I get to watch the whole tribute. Tell me about, and I know you've probably been asked this a ton already, but I'm interested just asking the question, what comes to mind as far as the performances that you went, oh, I didn't expect that. That's wild.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the lineup was quite a stellar gathering. Lucinda Williams came forward to sing "Jesus Just Left Chicago," and as you point out, there's some value. There's some real magic when a singer takes on the challenge of trying to deliver a oddball ZZ Top thing. And then at the last minute, I was able to invite another performer who did an instrumental piece. The magic and mystery within the hands of the guitar player, Mr. Guthrie Trapp.
Oh yeah, great guitar player.
Man, he can tear the sides off a Telecaster faster than anybody I know. And the music director asked me, he said, well, gee whiz, he said, how do you plan to fit in with Guthrie? He's a whirlwind. I said, well, I'm putting my guitar aside. I'm picking up a snare drum.
I saw a picture of you at the snare with him standing there with his telly. I'm like, that looks just like something Billy would do.
Well, after 90 seconds of Guthrie's whirlwind, I said, and that, folks, is why I'm playing the drums.
You've always had a great way of plugging into whatever was around you. And I don't know if you remember, but before we did our Crossroads taping together, we met over at some rehearsal hall, and I had spent about an hour trying to get some kind of tone on my guitar that I wouldn't be completely embarrassed with. And I had all these charts, and you just kind of looked at them like, look, I'm not reading all these charts. And I'm like, I'm glad you said that because I wouldn't expect you to. Yeah. I said, you know what? We know all your stuff, Billy. You don't have to learn ours, but if you ever feel like pulling the trigger on something, jump in there. And you have a great, uncanny ability to come and go. That's your old pro self that seems to never let you down.
Well, thank you for that. I was recently quizzed. Someone had stumbled onto the new single from this new solo record called Hardware, which has been pointed out, it's going to hit the streets June the 4th. And in the meantime, we kind of lifted the lid with a sneak peek of a track called My Lucky Card.
I've seen it. It's great.
Yeah, there's a nice little bit at the back end of the video piece. We decided to hit the stage, and I had forgotten to bring along a slide bar. And someone said, well, here, you've been known to play a bottleneck. Here's an empty beer bottle. I said, yeah, thanks a lot. And could you get me another one? And of course, the next challenge is going to be finding a bottle of wine from your winery. I'm going to play wine bottle bottleneck.
Hey, terms you bet. We can figure that out, Billy.
Yeah, man. Show no.
Any good slide player that's ever been in a bar has had to use a beer bottle at some point in his career. So I'm going to guess that wasn't a total stretch for you.
Oh yeah. Empty or full, we'll take it.
I love this track. Now, tell me about this this club that you were playing in, because that's you have kind of been my guide on recommending a lot of great haunts over the years. And tell me about that place.
Well, yeah, the video showcases a rather famous spot. In fact, for quite some time, you and I have shared our admiration of good old Western movies, cowboy films here and cowboy films there. Where most of them got their start was out there near Joshua Tree at a what is now a town called Pioneertown, which was actually started as the movie sets for a host of great Western films, going back to the days of Roy Rogers, Hopalong Cassidy, and back to the 30s. And this particular place hosted a neat little spot called Pappy and Harriet's Palace. Still going strong after many decades of just that. It was the cantina that was the after hours hang, and talk about a good time. You step in the doorway of Pappy and Harriet's and you're bound to have nothing short of a great afternoon or evening. And I got to tell you, for those that get to tune in here, get your pencil and paper handy and write that down. Pappy and Harriet's Palace in Pioneertown, California. It's a great spot.
So this is probably a question that you may not want to answer. So I'm gonna get a little sensitive here, if you don't mind. But when we were on tour, when we had Fiesta Day, you were responsible for the guacamole, and you made, I guess, the greatest guacamole in America that I've ever had. And is it even in the, could I even ask recipe or something like that? Or am I just going to are you going to change the subject?
No, it's a question we were asked so often that when it came time to put together a nice little coffee table book, it's basically it's a presentation with a kind of a photographic exhibition of our collection of our favorites, cars and guitars. And inside those pages, the book is entitled Billy F. Gibbons Rock and Roll Gearhead, but we couldn't leave out the recipe for the Renegade guacamole. It's in there. And
that's like a preacher going, yeah, it's in the Bible. Yes, it's if you open up somewhere like in a third of the way through the New Testament, if you really read carefully, you might eventually find it. And thanks for that extremely articulate and to the point and ingredient by ingredient explanation of the recipe there, Billy. That I'm very much appreciated. Something tells me there's probably some Montana whiskey bank, whatever it is, hot sauce in there as well.
Oh yeah, the Whisker Bomb hot sauce has
Whisker Bomb. That's right.
Yeah, it's got a. Imagine that, me and Tim, Montana. Which brings up another interesting point. Someone said, "Well, we've got the Whisker Bomb hot sauce. We know it's you and Tim. How did that start?" Tim and I met in a songwriting session, and we were kind of thinking, well, which direction do we start? Well, Tim had been kind of going over a melody that seemed to catch my ear, and I said, Tim, why don't we cut to the chase? What is that song you keep humming? He said, oh, it's kind of corny. I don't know if we want to go there. I said, well, what you got? He said, well, we've only got a title. And I said, well, can you lay it on me? He said, well, it's kind of corny. And I said, well, give me your best shot. He said, it's called This Beard Came Here to Party. I said, Tim, I think we can go down that road.
Oh, it doesn't have a haw in it by chance, does it?
We could probably go back and work it in.
That's awesome, Billy. Well, I know you got them lined up today, and it is great to see you and catch up just briefly. And I look forward to time when we can be blessed in person and really catch up on things.
Well, Kix, I join you as well as you and I join the many. Everybody has patiently been waiting for the curtain to rise. And I think it's fair to say as things continue to thaw out, I'll be standing next to you, waiting to make more loud noise together.
Let's do it. Let's make some racket, even if it's wrong.
There it is, brother.
Take care, buddy.
Cheers, man. See you soon.
Hey, I love my switchblade knife too.
Keep it
Still
sharp.
one of my prized possessions.
Keep it sharp. You can whittle away on a good avocado there. We can start that renegade guacamole one more time.
Absolutely. See you, man.
Cheers.
Bye.